Hey, everybody, how you doing? 13 games left. That's all we got to live through. That's it. Welcome to PHLY Flyers postgame presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. My name is Bill Matz. I am your director of fun and games for this St. Paddy's Day postgame. Joining me tonight, that's right, we have a whole new crew. It is the varsity head coach of Clearview Ice Hockey, two-time South Jersey Hockey League champion, Mike J. Walk.
Hello.
And my collaborator, my good friend, Frankie Frank Barbado, joining us here tonight. And Flyers lose 2-0, shutout in back-to-back games now. They have scored
back to back.
They have scored 2 or fewer goals in 6 of 9. I gotta say, this team is playing hard. They're back checking. They're blocking shots. They're limiting shots on goal. Only 22 tonight. They just can't score. This team simply cannot score a goal. And on one hand, I think, okay, they're going to infuse some talent at some point, and we have this defensive base. But on the other hand, they never score. How much do they have to add just to have a normal offense? It is ugly for this team trying to generate anything right now, as they have now gone, 1-7-0 in their last 8. It's ugly.
Yeah, what do you say? I always think to myself,
welcome to my life, Mike. This is what I wonder every single post game for the last 2 months. What the hell are we going to talk about?
What does Torts say? I don't know what he says when he goes to the locker room. It's not like they didn't play hard with effort.
No.
It's not like there weren't some chances.
They're drawing penalties.
Right.
They're working.
What do you say?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They just don't have the talent. They just do not have the talent. I mean, they're not getting any sustained pressure. The goaltending was actually decent tonight.
Yeah.
Fedotov was great.
He was great. So we what else could we do? Oh my God.
Hey guys, you guys just aren't talented enough.
Yeah.
That's how you lead?
Yeah.
Listen, he says that in every press conference. I know. I know what we are. You look at our roster, and especially after the trades they've made, you go back to, it was January 30th, Frost and Farabee. You get Kuzmenko back, you trade him, you trade Scott Lawton. Now, these are, again, these aren't star players, and most of them not that great this year. But they're top 9 NHL forwards. You lost 4 in 38 days or something.
Yeah.
You didn't have a ton of talent to begin with, so it's hard to, rag on them because this is what they are. But some of the guys who are counted on for offense are nowhere to be found. We said it pregame. Listen, they have 2 NHL lines at most.
Mm-hmm.
But those lines are doing nothing either,
right.
And that's kind of concerning. Listen, Vasilevskiy's awesome. He came into the game 4 career shutouts and a .931 against the Flyers. He's the second best goalie in the NHL this year. He's got a couple of cups. Dude rules.
Yeah, but he looked phenomenal. I mean, he was.
You got shut out by Peter Kochetkov last game. This isn't a one-off for this team. Again, right. 6 of 9, 2 or fewer goals. They just can't score. And Mike, you're a coach. You're not an NHL coach, but you are. You are. Yet. Yeah. I mean, you could definitely coach his power play to the same results. We'll get to them later. But what would you say?
I don't even know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I struggle with so much. What do you say? Hey guys, you worked hard. In the words of Christmas Vacation, so do washing machines. But what?
That's good. That's good.
I don't even know what to say to these guys. You're grown men, and you just can't win. And I saw somebody in the comments say is this really the real TK? At what point is that conversation really happening? Hey, this is Travis Konecny. He's just this guy now. Because at this point, it's the plays that you have made that were good are a flash in the pan, as opposed to you playing bad. It doesn't even out the ratio if you get what I'm getting.
So wasn't that going into him signing that free agent long-term contract was the issue? It was can he be that guy that drives the
for
play?
82 games?
Right, for 82 games.
Exactly.
So, I mean, like you said, there's no supporting cast. So it's, again, hard to evaluate, but that doesn't look good coming down the stretch.
We talked about TK pregame, and it's on one hand, he's playing a ton. He's working out there. It's just the puck's not going in. But this is getting kind of silly. And for the second straight year, he's having, especially in terms of goal scoring, a major fall off in the second half. Now, he's third amongst forwards in ice time tonight by a couple of seconds, but he plays 21 minutes again. They had a bunch of power plays, so a lot of that is power play time. He was out there for like the full 2 minutes on a couple of them, I think. Maybe, like my hope now with TK is, all right, last year 21 goals at the halfway point, this year 20. He's on a 40-goal pace, and he's going to end with, last year he gets to 30, cool. This year he's going to be lucky to get to 25 at this rate. He's got 22.
And that's crazy.
And my hope, okay, he's that 30-goal scorer, but when you get him a center, when you have other players who can take some of this load, he's not playing, defenseman minutes at 21 minutes a night like he's averaged all season. I think it was like 20-45 is his average. Maybe at 17, 18 minutes a night, like a typical forward, he can sustain it a little more. And when he goes into these slumps, it's not so obvious because you have somebody else who can score. You look at TK right now. Again, I thought he played hard. I thought he did.
But here's the thing.
He's not Noah Cates, where it's like, oh, he's doing the little things.
Right.
You're paying him to score.
No, he needs to score.
He becomes our highest
with
paid.
the money he's making.
Yeah.
And but you just said it yourself. Like, he's scoring 20 goals in the first half of the season. Why does that automatically just stop out of nowhere? I don't get it.
It's now
how can he be snake bitten this many times? Like, watch where you're stepping. I don't get it, dude. I seriously don't get it.
He looked so frustrated tonight. There was like 3 or 4 plays. He just looked completely frustrated.
Final 5 minutes, maybe 5:30 left of the third period. He's in that 2-on-1. He's been passing up a lot of those odd man rush opportunities lately. I just wanted to see him rip it. He rips it, and the shot goes into the corner like he was dumping it.
Right.
Like he missed, not by a little. Like, okay, you see that shootout attempt the other night. And it's like, I don't know, man. This is just the worst luck I've ever seen when you hit 3 posts and it bounce out.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah.
Dog, you just threw it into the corner on a 2-on-1, and you're our best scorer by far. I don't know how this team can ever score if he's going to be this off. It's 2 goals in 28 games, none in the last 12. There was a point on the penalty kill tonight. He has the puck, and he made a nice play to get it down there, but then he's at the point, he's starting to get pressured. He throws it all the way back, not just for Fedotov to play it. That was his best shot of the game. He almost scored from the opposite blue line on his own goalie. Like, he is just in one. You saw after that 2-on-1, he gets tied up, and it's like he's trying to get in a fight. He's just in his own head, is putting it lightly at this point. That's all you can say.
Yeah.
Like, he's just lost.
And gosh, it just basically boils down to that, like, at what point do you decide this is who the player is, or this is like just a slump that he's in? And I don't know the answer to that. But I think the conversation is starting to creep up more and more of like, all right, now we maybe should be thinking at least like, hey, maybe this is who he is,
And that is, while, like, in a couple of years, you look at the number on this contract, he becomes their highest paid forward next year, and you go, all right, in a few years, like the under $9 million for a guy who gets you 30 goals, 70 points, it's not terrible. Like, it's the same number as Giroux, but cap percentage-wise, it's not close because it's going to be like a $120 million cap in a few years, barring the NHL being the NHL. But still, like right now, this is your standard bearer. Your whole point of doing the rebuild this way is we're going to be competitive. We're going to get these guys experience competing down the stretch. We had a comment a few minutes ago, get to Tankathon already, because I make you stay so you watch the whole damn show. We do Tankathon at the end. This is working YouTube right now. We do Tankathon at the end. But like, if he's not going to do it, who the hell is? And you just get to some of these guys. Maybe it wouldn't be so obvious. Like this, I had 2 goals in 28 games, none in 12. Like, this is obvious. But Owen Tippett, 1 goal in 8 or 9 games now. No goals in 5 straight. He's had goal droughts this year. 6, 5, 4, 5, 8, and now 9. That's like 33 games.
Right, and like
that's a third of this. That's almost half the season.
It's not a drought; it's just a bad season.
Yeah, he's just having it. Like,
and that's just like a regular guy.
Right.
Like that could be anybody.
But now we're talking about 2 of your 3 highest paid forwards, and Sean Couturier ain't ever going to score again. Like he's just we're hoping he can be a good 3C at some point. Like, they are. While it's good that they lose, losing is good right now. lose the rest. Cool.
God, I hate that.
I know. But it's
the truth.
It's the circumstance they're
I
in.
know,
It is.
but it's just like.
But these are guys that are going to be here. Like Owen Tippett signed long-term. TK signed long-term. If this is all they are, they have to hit their draft and free agency and trades over the next couple of years out of the park for this thing to work, because the guys they're depending on to be part of the core are disappointing, to say the least, at this moment.
I'm just nervous too about even the younger players. Like nobody's like progressing like I thought they were this year. Look like
Right.
Cam York taking a step back. You know, some of these guys, like, you really come in expecting them to kind of carry the load, and then TK can kind of build off that momentum. But like, you're not getting that support either. So now it's really all on TK, all on Coots, all on Tippett, and I mean they just can't get it done.
But they're not meant to be guys that can
I agree.
like carry
I
this
agree.
load. Like, who's the superstar on this team? If your superstar
He's
is
19,
TK,
and he's
guess
not ready.
what?
And he's
It was
not
basically
there
a
yet.
1-0 game, and
Yeah.
he gave up the only turnover of the game, and it was at the blue line for a goal that went through 2 zones.
And that's a little, it's not a great pass, but he has to make, again, as one of the leaders of this team, your best player. Like,
fall
you
down
have
on
to,
it.
cover it with your glove,
Dude, I don't
pick
care
it up
what
and
you
throw
do.
it in the crowd.
Throw it somewhere.
Do anything to prevent that from happening.
Throw your
because
stick at it, you know?
especially in this situation, like that's the 4-on-4, and it goes the other way,
Yeah.
and that's the Kucherov goal. You know you can't score if you give up this one. Like, that's it. It's Vasilevskiy and net. The team can't score on Peter Kochetkov. You ain't getting one on Vasilevskiy. You have to prevent that from happening. As much as I want to blame the pass, you're the best player on the team.
And that's
you need
like-
to make that. You need to make some sort of desperation play to stop that from happening.
And that's where the team is right now, where when you play a team like Tampa, you got to play completely mistake-free hockey. Completely.
Yeah.
You know, because let's say TK doesn't make that. It's a 0-0 game. We're going into overtime. Like, a 0-0 game, like come on, guys. Like,
Yeah.
Are you serious right now? But that's like what they're at right now. Look, the long and short of it is that this isn't the best team right now. You know, yes, the tank is on and everything, but then you got to start thinking of when teams tank, do you just start develop into this loser mentality? So where you have guys like Tippett, you know, and even Jamie Drysdale, where it's just like, all right, like they're just going to get used to losing.
They've never been in winning environments before.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Tippett was in Florida for a little bit, but he's back and forth in the AHL. He gets his chance here. They never win. Drysdale was in freaking Anaheim. Like, these guys, it's just super rough to never have experience. Like, who even has postseason experience amongst these dudes right now? Like, is Nick Delorier one of your leaders in overall playoff games in his career?
Yeah.
You know, like TK Sanheim.
How many goals does he have this year?
None.
Yeah, that's right.
Like TK and Sanheim have been in the playoffs with this team. Has anyone?
I mean, Coots, obviously.
Yeah,
but,
Coots, yeah.
Coots,
But like,
sure.
you know, even then, like the veteran captain takes it's not really his fault at the end. He gets hit, his stick goes up, but like completely negates any chance of you tying that game up.
Yeah.
Sending it to overtime.
A weird play.
It's just like, you know, one bad thing after another in this game and in this season, honestly.
It's not just like we're gonna sit here, and I'm gonna put it mostly just the complete lack of offense on TK and Tippett, because these are guys who have signed long-term contracts to score goals. That is why they are here, to put the puck in the back of the net. But you talk about young guys taking a step. Tyson Forster hasn't scored a goal in 10 straight. Cam York, no goals, 3 assists in his last 22 games. Even Travis Sanheim, who a lot of last year was one of the catalysts for creating offense from the back end, makes Team Canada, surprisingly, to me at least this year. 12th straight game without a point. No goals in 38 games. His last goal came on December 14th, which is 10 days before the Christmas break started. Like, these aren't slumps. These are just guys who have no chance of helping us produce any offense. So we talked about how bad the power play has been since the beginning of March. Another 0 for 5 tonight, and we'll get to that in a second. But Flyers leading scorers in March. They've played, I believe, 9 or 10 games. Brink has 4 points. He is the leader. Under half a point a game.
Bobby?
Drysdale, Coots, Mishkov, and Lixell, 3 points each. Paling, Cates, Kuzmenko, Konecny, Forster, 2. That's it. These are the leading scorers in this month of March, when we are supposed to... I realize you can't ask this team to compete against Carolina and Tampa, teams with Stanley Cup aspirations, But these are all dudes who are supposed to be here and they're doing nothing.
Mhm.
You need a little bit for me to have some confidence in, oh yeah, they're going to take a step this offseason. They're going to add hopefully a veteran goalie. Maybe they make one big trade to bring in some talent. And then 2 years from now, all this money opens up. And with the cap going up, we can go buy somebody. How many dudes are we going to have to buy to make this competitive when you look at how this team scores? So can we buy 4 or 5 guys? Like
No.
that's now you're in what? Like, okay. And then when Mishkov needs his $12 million a season, how do you do it?
I mean, I know you guys always talk about how it's not a linear, right?
Yeah.
It's not a linear ascension.
Sure.
You're going to go through some peaks and valleys. I am hoping that this is the peak. Those numbers are really concerning, though. If we're talking about
Guys
these are
who need to be
your
here.
younger guys are not stepping up at all. And that is the biggest concern for me. I mean, TK, I know he's going to, kind of go through ups and downs, but like your younger guys not scoring, I'm just hoping it's a valley and, this is not like a thing for next year, honestly.
All right, before we go any further, I got to take a second, tell you about a couple of our sponsors. We got to lead it off with our friends at Ace Hardware and what they bring, because at Ace Hardware Home Services, whenever they get ready for the next job, they remember what to bring. They bring experience. They're local plumbers and techs that handle everything from repairs and seasonal maintenance to installations and upgrades. They bring understanding. They listen to your goals, and the job isn't completed until you're satisfied. And they bring helpful. They bring helpful to your home so you can spend more of your time on the projects that really matter to you. They give you free estimates on equipment installation and replacements with trusted advisors and options that are best suited for your home and budget. And they provide service you can trust, and satisfaction is always guaranteed. Ace Hardware Home Services are also local. Their teams live and serve in your community and are dedicated to keeping their neighbors comfortable in their home. Visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project. And while we're here, gotta tell you about our friends at Bet365, our presenting sponsor for each and every game. Well, we failed again, 0 for 2. Mishkov did not record a point, nor did anybody on the team. Of course, they were shut out again. And Cam York, 1 blocked shot does not go over his 2.5. So we're 0 for 2 on the night. And it is what it is. I hope no one out there is still
don't listen to us.
I hope no one out there is still tailing my bets, because it has been a disaster all year. But listen, we have breaking news from Bet365. New customers now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5, win or lose. All you got to do is sign up, use code PHLY365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older and physically located in PA. If you or somebody knows a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Can I just, my gambling problem is the losing. It wouldn't be so bad if we could win.
I got a winning problem, not a gambling problem.
That's really what's happening
Quote
right
the
now.
commercial.
But the goal scoring, I guess it's really easy. I guess if I'm going to make the excuse I always made for Giroux in the playoffs those last few years, it's like, well, when you have one line, it's real easy to defend. Is that the problem right now? Some of these guys just need to make a play, though. There ain't no rule against making a play.
No.
Well, I was thinking it's like this, again, the sustained pressure. They can get one shot, it goes the other way. Then these guys are gassed trying to back check. I just don't see any sustained pressure in the offensive zone. So I just don't know how many chances you're going to get. You have to legit get a perfect chance and bury it to get goals right now.
But we don't even crash the net
exactly.
to get those perfect chances. So there is a part of me that says, are we just being crazy hard on this entire team?
Oh, yeah, we are.
I know we are, right?
That's the thing, is they're talent deficient, and we need to absolutely recognize that. I'm not expecting them to win, but when you never score, there are guys here who are supposed to be a part of the next great Flyers team in 2 or 3 years, 5, whatever. They're not stepping up. And this was, if nothing else, after the trade deadline, an opportunity for a lot of young guys to step up and show that they belong here. They deserve a longer looking camp next year, whatever it is. And we're not seeing anything.
All right, so I have an argument to that, or at least a question to that. At what point do you say this is a real coaching problem? Like, hey, these guys, the guys that we thought were, these are going to be the next thing. They've scouted them to be the next thing. They've been great at every other level. Now, when they get to the show, they're just falling flat. This is a coaching problem. Because obviously we can make that argument on the power play, but like, what about the entire team, the entire game? At what point do you say, like, these guys are never going to be what they are until they get the proper coaching?
I do think coaching comes into it. They concentrate so little on offense. Like, it's all about this side of the red line and in. Now, Tortorella does want you taking chances.
Yeah.
They switched to the rush-based offense last year. He always, safe as death and all that stuff. But at the same time, when guys make mistakes taking chances, they then find themselves on the bench for 30 minutes. So it's kind of mixed messaging sometimes. I want to blame the coach some. It is a personnel problem, though. But guys like Tyson Forster, like, here's a concern of mine. He was drafted later in the first round, in the 20s. But if you ask anyone in that organization, oh, no, he should have been taken in the top half of the first round. We think we got a steal. We think he's a potential star, a Mark Stone-type player who can play great two-way play and score you 30. It's like, okay, he's at 20. That's a good number. 20-goal rookie year, close to 20 this year. Nice. But when does the step happen? Sure, a functional power play, like everyone gets to pad their stats on the power play.
Yeah.
But these guys are all on the power. Like,
right.
Yeah, we need a point man and we need a net front presence. But these guys are out there and they're supposed to be doing a little more than never scoring. I don't know.
You
like,
had a 4-minute power play.
A 4-minute power play in which I'm pretty sure they were outchanced.
But like, what's to say if you switch those coaches of that game? Would there be that much of a difference?
John Cooper is an awesome coach.
But even if John Cooper had this team, like, would it be that much of a difference?
I don't think anybody could make.
And if Tortorella had that team,
Yeah.
would he still be able to coach to a win? Like, it's chicken or the egg anymore. Like what do we even go to first? Is it the coaching? And I know, like, Torts' contract is coming up, right? And there's going to be a decision that has to be made, like, hey, do we keep this guy? And it's one of those things where, do we keep him while we have a team that's not ready to be there yet, or do we hire the great coach and, like, kind of waste his time almost?
That's a great question, because we've been talking all season, like, if Mike Sullivan becomes available, we all kind of think that it fits. He's not part of the family, but he's a Tortorella disciple. Great coach, couple of cups in Pittsburgh. I love what he did when he took over that team because they were the dumbest team in hockey. And then it's like, stop being stupid. And they won a couple of cups right away. They're still playing pretty hard for him, despite like their complete lack of depth behind their Hall of Fame core.
Yeah.
But a coach's message only lasts so long. If this is going to take a little longer than we think, if he's here 2 years and they don't make the playoffs and then suddenly, okay, time to win, flip that switch. Right. Are the players still listening to him after 2 years of continued failure? It is an interesting question. Do you just stick with Torts another year because we're not ready?
Right.
Like, do you just, sorry, Travis and Travis, you just have to, you're veterans, you just have to put up with the maniac another year screaming at you.
Do you make him the lame duck coach, though? Like, not extend him? Like, or do you give him, like, a 2-year extension?
I believe if they were to extend him, one, he's such a legendary, like, the situation's so different.
Right, like, let's not act like he's not, like a historic coach or doesn't have a great resume.
He's already a Hall of Famer. He's one of the
Easily.
all-time winningest coaches, and it's pretty clear it was never just about a few years behind the bench. Like, when he got hired, he talks about we need to restore respect to the orange and black and all that. Like, that was going to take longer than however long any coach gets in this league. Maybe the extension is like, another year behind the bench, and then we move you to the front office. You're an advisor. You're the AGM. You're head of,
assistant to the
discipline,
regional
whatever the
manager
hell.
type thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He has his front office work in that extension. Maybe I really don't know, because it's a tough situation to be in. Like, no coach goes into a lame duck year. Now, maybe because it's Tortorella, it doesn't matter. But
maybe if he knows he has a job
like,
at the end of it, like, that's not as bad. I don't know.
It's tough. But that brings us, since you mentioned the power play, to our Ace Hardware temperature check. Let's take a look at which Flyer is heating up or cooling off with our Ace Hardware temp check. Visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at AceHardwareHomeservices.com to get started on your next project. And Let's just talk about the power play. Ace Hardware did an amazing job fixing that air conditioning in the power play because it is freezing cold.
Nice.
I mean, they've been
Nice.
horrible all season, and they've been horrible under Rocky Thompson for 3 years. They were also bad the year before he got here, but they were 0 for 18, so it's that 0 for 23 on the power play in the month of March. We are now over the halfway point of the month. They have not scored a power play goal. And the reason I want to bring this up while we're talking about Torts is Torts once again stuck up for his guy. We talked on the show, Charlie and I, a few days ago. Torts was asked about Rocky Thompson and the power play.
Rocky loves Emily.
I should have worn the Three Ninjas shirt.
Yeah,
That's green
exactly.
too. Torts was asked a few days ago in a press conference about the power play. And he basically, I got so mad at the first half of his answer, I didn't listen to the rest. And then Charlie, who is, capital J journalist, stuck in Boston tonight. Oh, big shock. Charles Henry O'Connor stuck in Boston for St. Patty's. Shocking. Couldn't get a flight. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's like, the second half of his answer was basically the Rocky Thompson question. That's a question for Danny. And okay. Yeah, you don't want to throw your own coach under the bus, but it's also, I think, a message. I'm not firing my guy.
Yeah.
If you want him gone, this is going to be on you, Danny boy. And that is the GM's job to make tough decisions like this. In fact, we were saying during the game, though, yeah, personnel issue 100%. But you look at sports is a result-based business. If you have me at quarterback and the team has the worst offense in the NFL, the OC doesn't get credit because the quarterback's bad. He gets fired anyway because the offense was bad. Don't know what to tell you. This is your job. And Torts in the sit-down interview didn't get a chance to see it yet because we were in here doing our pregame. He kind of reiterated the same stuff. This was from Jordan Hall's piece on the sit-down. I think it's going to be like a 4-parter with Ashlyn Sullivan. It's going to air before games for the rest of the month, I guess. Torts says, that's the stuff that bothers me when I have people ripping my coaching staff. If I could have the people that think Rocky is some sort of idiot sit down and watch his presentation and how he handles himself as a coach and how he does things, I wish they could see that before comments are thrown around because he is such an intelligent coach. And this, again, gets me back to, how did certain coaches keep getting jobs? Because... they have a track record of not success. Oh, he interviews with. That's what this tells me. He can explain it to you, but if you can't enact something that is better than Ofer for a month,
It's silly because it's like, oh, you should have seen this presentation.
Yeah,
dude. It had star wipes and everything. But the PowerPoint was amazing. But guess what? It doesn't work.
It doesn't.
Well, it's not getting through to the players, obviously. I mean,
there's no movement. There's just nothing creative. And at a certain point, if it is a personnel issue, which I fully recognize.
Yeah, 100%.
Then you have to invent something to try to make up for this lack of fucking. Sorry. I did it, not them, of course. I haven't done it in so long. For this lack of talent, you have to invent something that gets you a goal in the first 10 games of the month. I'm not asking for the world here. I'm asking not to be in last place over the last 3 years.
And last place by a mile. We're not even talking about
No, they're under 15% for 3 years.
Look, results based. We were talking about it. I'm not saying he's an idiot. I'm just saying what he's doing is not working with this group of players.
It's like one of those things. I'm not saying you're an idiot, but you're doing things that an idiot would do.
Yeah.
What?
Well, maybe
wasn't that an idiot? He's probably a great guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure his PowerPoint presentations are phenomenal. But if it's not working, the definition of insanity is doing everything and said doesn't work. It ain't working, kid. So figure out something else.
How can you
I
run
don't care
that
if you do
back
the
next year?
complete opposite of what you thought. You got to try something else. And
create something dumb. Put Sandheim in front of it. I don't know.
Right. I'm sure
What are you talking about? The toast push in front of the net? I love this idea.
Get the puck back to the point. Everybody crash the net and turn it into the tush push. Figure something out.
Yeah.
What is it going to get worse? Over the last 3 years, there are 32 teams in the league. They are ranked 33rd. Mm-hmm. Now, it's funny because Utah and Arizona are two separate entities. It's not like the team moved. It's technically an expansion team, but they bought Arizona's roster. It's weird. So over the last 3 years, there have been 33 different teams. they're 33rd. There's only 32 teams in the league at any given year, and they're dead freaking last. It's a failure.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put it. Rocky has had one other year leading a power play. I think it was in San Jose. They were ranked like 27th. That's by far the best he's ever done.
Was Burns on the team at the time?
It was probably the year they got rid of Burns.
Okay.
Yeah. But like,
gonna have a good argument.
Yeah, I know.
If bottom 5 is the best you can do, someone else has to come up with it. And now they're starting to use the excuses like, well, it's kind of a collaborative effort this year. They have these meetings with Patrick Sharp and John LeClaire and Danny Heatley, all excellent power play players in their day. We're talking about 20, 30 years ago, though. This isn't modern hockey.
There is
like,
nobody
Patrick
on the
Sharp
team
is
that
the most
has
recent.
the profile of a John LeClaire on this team.
Yeah.
That can stand in front of the net.
I don't know, rip 102 mile an hour slap shot
nobody's-
through the net. Yeah, put
Yeah.
it through the net.
There's
Well, we
nobody.
can't.
What's going to happen?
That's we can't score on Hasek. We can't score on Vasilevskiy. I don't know, shoot it through the net. We don't have anyone who can do that.
Yeah.
It's at a certain point, you just have to make a determination that we need another voice. Whatever this isn't working. And I wonder how hard Tortorella is going to stick up for his guys this offseason. If it's more, I'm not going to fire my guys, but Danny, you got to do what you got to do, or my guys are doing it right. It's your problem that I don't have the talent, Danny. I wonder which argument he makes.
That's what I'm talking about as far as development goes. Are we going to do another year of Tortorella, Rocky Thompson? And if these guys, what if they go another year and look exactly the same as this year? Now I'm concerned about this whole entire process. So if we do another year and they still have a terrible power play, it is going to be the personnel, but it's also after a while, it's the definition of insanity.
Yeah. It's super frustrating because then again, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Is Rocky here the scapegoat here? All right, you're not working, or it's just we just don't have the players here. We were talking pregame about why isn't Jamie out there on the point? Just running the umbrella from the top up there, and then he's out there and it's still
not good.
Well, and there's absolutely nothing they can do to fix it this year. It's honestly 4th straight year of infutility on the power play.
That's fine that you say that, but if they're saying that in the coaching room, I have a problem with that. If they're there's nothing we can do this year, guys, pass another beer.
They need to keep coming up with stuff, but that's at least now they're doing it because Ristolainen's hurt. But up until the Ristolainen injury, he's running point on the top power play unit. He ain't going to be here when the team's good, even if they don't trade him. He's going to be 33 on an expiring contract in 2 years. He's going to be gone then. He's our number 1 point guy. Figure out someone else who can do it. Jamie Drysdale or Emil Andrei need to be on the ice with Mishkov and Konecny, so at least they can learn, all right, where do you like the puck? Where are you going to be when I'm over here? What are you going to do when I walk the line and move over here? Are you going to stay? Are you going to move in front or behind? At least learn each other's tendencies and try to build some chemistry. It's so bad right now. I don't even know if that matters, though.
I think that's important, though. I think you're 100% right. I think they have to build chemistry. Just play together the rest of the year. Maybe you score 1 goal on the power play.
If they get 1 this month, it's going to be a miracle.
Yeah, exactly.
0 for 28 or 0 for 23 this month. It's
How about insult to
unbelievable.
injury that they counted that 4-minute power
Yeah.
play? as
So he
two.
gets an 0 for.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, it should have counted for when you get out-chanced on a 4-minute power play.
Three.
And honestly, that's going to bring me to our lone bright spot tonight.
Uh-oh.
Ivan Fedotov.
Agreed.
Stopped 10 of 11 in the first. He was the Flyers' best player tonight. His previous 4 games, he was at a .913 save percentage. He was 21 of 22 tonight. That's pretty damn good. So for the season, he is now at 888 by my math, including tonight's game. Yeah, Sam Erson's at 886. Now, it's a totally different workload. Fedotov has been benched for a month twice this year. So I don't know what to make of it. And 888
I've been benched
is
for a month twice. That's 2 months.
It was 2 separate months, though. But
it was a leap year.
he 888 is still 12 points below league average. League average 900, 901. But the fact remains he has been better than Sam Erson down the stretch. Now, what's the future? He's got another year on his deal. He's a 29, 28-year-old rookie. I don't know, but are you thinking maybe there's a little something more than we thought with Fedotov? I don't think he's a starter in the league, but maybe he's a decent enough backup.
Right, he held his ground against a team that we were talking about pregame a team that could come out of the Eastern Conference
and score 12 goals on you. Like,
Right.
he could easily, this team could light you up on not that many shots.
And the
5-0
only
easily.
goal he let up was on a breakaway against like
The best player in the league.
a shot that I didn't even see his wrist
No,
move.
I
Like
didn't
I
see
don't know
it.
how that shot went in the back of the net.
Like, Nikita Kucherov was 94 points now in the season. There's like 15 games left.
Right.
Like, what, are you going to stop it? He's one of the best players in the league.
Right.
A bad year for him. He's like, oh, yeah, he finished third in Hart Trophy voting. He didn't win it. Like, he basically was just as good as Vasilevskiy tonight. For a second time this season, he's gone toe-to-toe with Vasilevskiy and been just as good. Maybe he deserves a few more starts here down the stretch. I don't know.
Sure.
Why the hell
Why
not?
not?
Sure. I don't.
Why
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's Ersin or Fedotov. It doesn't matter.
Go every other at this point.
Yeah,
Like,
really.
who cares?
With 16 games left, I said I want to see this split 8-8.
Sure.
I've seen nothing to change my mind about
No,
that.
absolutely
'Cause
not.
I have no idea what Fedotov is, and chances are he's not very good. But I know what Ersin is. I think he's a decent backup or tandem, and that's that.
Right.
So let's play him in the role he's going to be in and see if Fedotov can match him. Like, what the hell's the difference?
And the other like
See how Ersin looks.
Fedotov is so young too. Like, I mean, not that young, but he's young.
He's old.
You know, but like he reminds me of this guy. Like, do we not? I don't just want to give up on a guy that it turns out to be a Bobrovsky, where it's just like, oh my god, look at that guy going and winning all these.
I don't think
awards.
you worry about
But
that with him.
even
I don't know though, because
I
like,
wouldn't.
all right,
I
write it
wouldn't
down,
worry about
Frank. Write it down.
I said he stinks in pregame, and
You
he
can
actually.
change your mind.
Well, I think he played
after one game.
I think he played well tonight, but I still think they both, are not great. So I
know.
would not
I'm
worry.
just not ready to
I hear
say that like this guy stinks.
I would say that
you
more
know?
of Kolosov than I would Fedotov.
And he's been in the league for how long?
A minute,
Right, exactly. So some like, and it almost goes against the opposite of what I was saying pregame, where it's just like sometimes these guys get figured out, but sometimes they figure out the league too.
And that was Charlie's point he made to me actually about Ersin when I was ripping on him a little bit a few shows ago. We've let some of these guys go who we think the ceiling is a certain thing.
Right.
Not even Bob, because he turned out to be awesome,
Yeah.
just as he was his rookie year here. And then we signed
We knew he
Grizz,
was good.
and that was just stupid. But like Anthony Stolars, who's I think a second-round pick, the pick we got back for Bob from Columbus. Even an Alex Lyon who came up, I'm like, okay, and now he's like a decent backup. If Fedotov can be that with another year on his contract, like, I don't know. You know who's going to be looking for goalies at the deadline next year? Everyone.
Yeah,
He's a
right.
nice rental. Like, you cover half his salary. That's a cheap guy that you could get something for. Give him a shot.
I agree.
What's he going to, like, what is the goaltending going to be worse?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like what you were saying is like bring in maybe a veteran to. I mean, because
Yeah.
like overall, I do want to take a step.
But do you
next
say
year,
that
right?
as bringing a veteran to like teach him how to be a pro?
Maybe,
you
yeah.
know?
I mean, because I think Ersin is the backup for the foreseeable future.
The
and
backup or a
the
backup?
the backup.
Okay.
Like,
I think
can
they like him enough that they keep him around,
Yeah.
and he can be a backup who gets maybe close to tandem usage.
Yeah.
35 starts in an 82-game season, not last year where we had like 30 of the last 35 games he played.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. So, like, if you bring in somebody that at least puts you in the right direction, you get competent goaltending, and, Fedotov, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that either, keeping him till the trade deadline next year, and you're right. He was on a good contract. You could ship him out, maybe get a couple picks for him.
Get something.
Get something. Yeah,
He was
I mean,
a 7th-round pick.
I'm
Like,
just, I just don't think, I'm not going to, think, oh, man, he could turn out to be
I don't
amazing.
know.
I don't
man.
have that
I
feeling.
really don't know.
goalies are so weird.
I could be wrong.
Fedotov is just one of those guys where it's just like, man,
a
couldn't
big
you
guy,
see that guy
you know,
just
I
like
don't- yeah.
ripping somewhere
Sure.
else?
He was
Sure.
he was
But I see all Flyers ripping somewhere else.
I mean, that seems
Oh, look at Scott Lawton. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
doing great
well,
somewhere.
not
else.
yet.
Leafs fans are
Wait-
upset.
Wait till the playoffs. He's gonna
Nikita Grabenkin, first goal for the Phantoms last night.
Yeah.
Giovanni Smith, first goal for the Phantoms. So maybe we got some guys
Bring
down
them
there.
on.
And let me just say,
Giovanni Smith maybe can replace Delorier next year as our fighter.
I went on record that I love the Phantom jerseys last night.
Did you like him?
Oh,
I did.
yeah,
I,
dude.
yeah,
All
yeah,
white
he
with
showed
the-
me. I'm
with the
actually really
orange.
liked them. I like the white pants.
Yeah,
It's wild.
why
I do like that. I just kind of think they
wild.
look like practice jerseys.
I didn't get that vibe.
No, I didn't get that vibe either.
You liked him. All right. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm in the minority. I saw some people on Twitter that liked him. So
Yeah.
I think it's
maybe
cool.
I'm just wrong.
It's perfect for the
Happens all
AHL
the time.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree
I
with
just
that.
love the original Phantoms jerseys so much.
I mean, they're amazing.
That's really, but
Yeah.
I get like if they're not in Philly anymore, they're going to rebrand and an AHL team have 9 jerseys. We need to sell something.
Yeah.
We got to keep this thing
This is a
afloat.
legitimate
Like,
question. Is flex still a thing?
No, it's Melvin with a capital LV.
And what is that?
He's like a dog.
A dog?
Yeah.
I think he's a dog.
Dogs don't play hockey. Where is Fletch?
Well, Fletch was like an alien or something. What was he just?
What? But he could play.
He was
Have you seen that stick handle? Are you
an
kidding
alien.
me?
He was a phantom.
Huh?
Phantom?
He's like a phantom.
Somebody's supposed to
Oh,
be?
a
Yeah,
phantom.
it's like a
Yes,
beast.
yes.
Before we get to the rest of tonight's show, I got to tell you, you got to wear some Shady Rays. Listen, it's starting to heat up here, and we know it's always sunny at Philadelphia. And our friends at Shady Rays are helping you get in the right frame of mind with their premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglass company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their sunglasses have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor adventures. You know I wear my Shady Rays every day. I tell you about them constantly. One of the things I love about them, it's their polarization doesn't mess with your eyes. I'm reading this right off a screen right now, and you know how a lot of times you're driving, you're wearing polarized glasses, maybe you look at the nav screen, it looks all weird and like bad 3D. Doesn't happen with Shady Rays. I don't know why. It's because their glasses just absolutely rule. So PHLY viewers and listeners, you got to check out shadyrays.com right now to save 35% off polarized sunglasses with code PHLY. Over 300,000 people have rated Shady Rays 5 stars. Right now, use code PHLY at shadyrays.com. And while we're here, why don't I tell you about our friends at TrueMark Financial Credit Union? Because it's almost spring, and that means it's time to spring into savings. If you have financial goals, whether it's buying a house, taking that dream vacation, or building your emergency fund, TrueMark Financial Credit Union has the perfect savings account for you. TrueMark Financial offers high-rate certificates and money market accounts to help your money grow faster and work harder for you. So visit TrueMark.com for rates and to learn more. TrueMark Financial, federally insured by the NCUA, equal opportunity lender. Rates are subject to change. And I guess we have to do 3 stars, even without Charlie tonight. Charlie, all jokes aside, Charlie was in Boston over the weekend. I told you all he was taking Saturday off, and he went up to see a concert. He was going to meet the team in Tampa for the game tonight. Well, if you've watched the news recently, that wasn't an option. But even without Charlie, we have to hit Charlie O'Connor's 3 stars of the game presented by Rite Aid. That's right, the Rite Aid 3 stars. And we're going to lead it off. Star number 3, it is Nikita Kucherov. He kills the Flyers. He does it again tonight, scores the only goal on a goalie, and then picks up a nice assist because he's got to pad that assist total. He's not going to get close to his 100 he had last year, but I think that was his 65th of the season. Damn. Kucherov is just freaking insane. Plays over 22 and a half minutes tonight. 3 shots, 2 blocks, a goal and an assist. He does everything for you. And I just love the way he plays because he like lulls you to sleep. He looks so casual.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm just sticking. I'm going to back up. I'm going to reset. And then all of a sudden, he's in it's a 2-on-1. Like, you were just at your own hash marks. You made 1 pass, and now we were set.
And he doesn't even like celebrate the goal. He's just like, yeah, of course it was.
Yeah, I felt like Fedotov, like, Kucherov should have to close his eyes in that situation. It's the only way to make it the least bit fair. If he goes in on that breakaway with his eyes closed, it's a 50-50 chance.
That was like one of the fastest shots I've seen this year.
How old is he? How
32.
Kuch is almost 32 years old. Yeah. He's still killing it.
I mean, that was insane. We knew that was a goal.
Freaking
from the blue
from
line.
From the blue line.
I was like,
when Konecny's doing the in high school when everyone's screaming feet, like, and it doesn't help. I know it's down there. Like when Konecny looks down and the puck's not there, I'm like,
it's not good.
This is goal.
JJ Kucherov's on the breakaway. I was like, doesn't look good.
So that's tonight's 3rd star. Star number 2, I am going to include a Flyer, and I am going to make it Ivan Fedotov. He plays a strong... I can't ask for anything more out of Ivan Fedotov. Stops 21 of 22. Only goal he gives up is the Kucherov freaking breakaway. Like, I don't know. Don't let that guy get a breakaway. He has been pretty impressive lately. He's got like 1 clunker in there in his last 5 or 6. He's been anything you could ask for out of a dude who... 2 years ago was on a battleship, just subject to, you're in the military. He thought he was coming over, and they're like, nah, you're under arrest. You're going to the military. Like, he's coming around. Maybe he's shown us a little something, and tonight went toe to toe with Vasilevskiy again. Looked pretty damn good.
Love or hate him, like you can't disagree that he had a great game.
Yeah,
The guy let up one.
Yeah,
whatever you think of like what Fedotov can be,
right?
He was great tonight.
Exactly,
he's the best player of that
and
power play.
For the second straight game, if you earn a shutout, you also earn the first star of the game. Vasilevskiy, 21 of 21. Yeah, a lot of muffins in there, but he didn't give any up. And that's what matters most. Andrei Vasilevskiy is tonight's first star of the game.
I also thought.
Thank you to our friends.
I
at
also
Rite
thought
Aid.
the linesmen had great games, called great lines there. If I was going to have my stars of the game, also the guy behind the bench wearing the Guinness shirt.
Yeah,
the
he was
Guinness
cool.
shirt. I'm for
Star.
that on
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day. That's your one time. I'll give you to that. But like, we're looking for stars in the Flyers. Jeez,
It's tough to come by. I would give us each a star for our performance on the car bombs tonight.
Oh, that was good.
You guys have done a hell of a job with the your first, Mike's first time, Frankie, your second. The first was an effort on Friday over the summer.
nice.
But you've taken quite well to the live show. So I'll give you guys a quarter of a star each.
Let's go. All right,
All
that's
right.
half a star between the two of us. Right?
And now it's time
Yeah.
for tonight's Tankathon spin. That's right. It's the reason we're all here. It is the Tankathon, and the Flyers, what are they, in the 6th spot still, Bryn? A couple of teams around them in the standings making little runs. Do we know what happened in that Buffalo game yet? Because they're below the Flyers. Oh, they won 3-2 in overtime.
Nice.
So that's great for
I thought I
us.
saw that in the
Buffalo
chat.
made a
Nice.
little run. Maybe they can get ahead of us at some
Beautiful.
point. So that's great to see. But right now the Flyers are in 6th best lottery odds. Without further ado, Brenna, spin that wheel. All right, let's see where they end up. They get up to 2.
I had a good feeling.
That lucky
I had a good feeling.
We'll wind up with a Van Reeves like somehow. I guarantee it.
that lucky second overall pick for the Flyers, in which they have drafted JVR behind Patrick Kane, and they drafted Nolan Patrick ahead of Miro Heiskanen and Elias Pettersson and Cale Makar. It looks like the Sixers are winning. I love how into it the Sixers guys
I
still
know.
get.
You gotta love
They
it.
are.
The Sixers. I gotta check the score because I know that the Sixers were like blowing out the Houston Rockets, and oh my God, they were up by like 20 points. They're up by 2 now with 4 seconds to go.
That is
They're
outstanding.
tanking all
And I don't know
around
if
right
those guys
now.
are cheering for them to win or for them
Tanking
to
all
lose.
I know
around.
they are the commanders of the tank right now. They have the
go.
Army helmets. I wanted to steal them again tonight for the tank,
Yeah.
but they're here, so I can't take their bit from them.
Yeah.
But I can only hope that we
get the 2 pick.
aspire to
We
attack
get
the way
2
the
pick.
Sixers do.
I'm pumped. I'm absolutely
The 2
pumped.
pick is perfect because it looks like defenseman Matthew Schaefer is going to go first overall. He's great. You know when he was born by chance, Frank?
No.
September 7th, 2007. My first week of classes as a freshman at Temple.
Oh my God.
It's really it's
Here come
it's
the old
starting to hit.
sevens. Here come the old
But
sevens.
it looks like he's going 1, and then the next 3 guys are going to be the 3 big centers. So if the Flyers get into that top 4, top 5, they have a really good chance to at least get some of the help they need down the middle to eventually alleviate the scoring problem that all these wingers have. We have a team of right wingers, and none of them can score right now. Maybe you get them, but so 13 games left. The Flyers are in a huge skid right now. 1-7-0 in their last 8.
Yeah.
They're just getting absolutely dismantled. And if we look at this remaining schedule, it doesn't get any easier for a little bit. My fear, though, is after Saturday, after next Saturday. So the next few games at Washington, at Dallas, then at Chicago, okay. Then at the Maple Leafs. These are 3 of the 4 are pretty tough games. And Montreal, Buffalo, Nashville, Montreal, the Rangers, the Islanders, the Sens, Columbus, and then Buffalo.
Buffalo and Nashville going to be games to watch.
Those are
They're
must-lose
actually
games.
must-lose
Must-lose games. there.
lose. Is
Yeah.
that Buffalo game home?
They play Buffalo. The first one is home, and then they close the season April 17th
I
at
would
Buffalo.
love to see what SeatGeek is giving away for those tickets right now. It's got to be like under $10.
They're paying you.
I
Yeah.
wonder
Yeah, they're paying you. We'll give you a free pretzel, no salt.
Buffalo has been pretty good recently, and we play Montreal once at home and once on the road. We're going to be at the road game. That's going to be a ton of fun. Lane Hudson v. Matvei Mishkov for maybe who finishes second in Calder voting. But Montreal has been really good lately. The Sabres are on a run. Maybe the end of this schedule isn't as easy as we hoped, and that's good because the last thing in the world that this team needs is like a
winning streak?
A 6-game winning streak to end the season.
I don't think we have to worry about that.
It's just such a Flyers thing.
It would be, but I mean, we're going to get some top teams at the end of the year. Those other teams below us are going to be tough, though.
Because I just remember in 2017, Frankie, when we win that lottery, moved from 13-2 with like a 1.2% chance or something. The Flyers closed it out. We were hoping they would tank, and they closed out really strong. And we win that lottery, and me and you were like, yeah, that's karma.
Good karma.
We deserve that. And I remember thinking the same thing in 2011 when instead of just the Phillies closing out the season with a tank, they sweep the Braves, and that lets the Cardinals in. We're like, we did it the right way, and that means things are going to go our way. I just hope they lose out.
Yeah,
13 games left. 13 games left. You see this schedule. If I set the over-under at 3.5, you taking the over or the
What
under?
a great line, by the way.
That is a great line.
That's a great line.
Like, yes, there's some easier.
I am going under.
Oh, my God.
I'm going.
I think 3 might be the number.
Is the number.
So you're saying
Chicago.
Buffalo,
You're beating
Chicago.
Chicago, one of the Buffalo games, maybe Nashville. The Rangers and Islanders stink too. They're not good.
But division games always go either way. They'll get up for division games.
This isn't football.
The Rangers do still have a chance to make. They're like in the playoff hunt, I believe. Still, the Rangers. They're currently in the second wild card spot.
Yeah,
not by points percentage, but by
for
total
something.
points. They are playing for something. So that's like a must-win for them. If they lose to the Flyers, like Peter Laviolette might be our coach next year.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's it was a name I threw out there because I think he's getting fired at the end of the year. And Kelly and Charlie were.
I'm surprised he's
not
been fired.
enthusiastic
Well, I
about
agree
that.
with him. I'm just.
I love
I'm,
Bobby, but like I don't think that he's
can't
like
retread. No
he's just a
retread.
different version of Torts. No,
Yes.
like he's a guy
But
that
he
gives you the
opens up
motivational
the
speeches.
offense. It's a
Right.
guy who's like, I actually coach from the offensive side of the red line and not the defensive side.
I would like somebody like fresh when the time comes. I would like somebody fresh, some new ideas, maybe some innovative ideas. I'm not saying it has to be like a Chip Kelly or, I don't want to even say his name, Dave Hackstall coming in. But like, I don't even think he was like dynamic.
No,
in
he
college.
didn't have a dynamic
I'm
personality.
telling you right now, Dave
I'm
Hackstall
saying, like,
comes
even-
in here. I'm not watching a single
Well,
game.
No, but that's the question.
Yeah,
a lot
I'm
of
not
people
watching.
want David Carl, Denver's coach, Matt Carl's brother, and he's
Yeah.
awesome. A lot of people are like, never a college coach again because of Hack. Like, David Carl's track record is so much better than
So I heard
Dave
you
Hack's.
talking about
right?
that. I would not mind if you guaranteed him like 5 to 7 years and say like, just figure it out for 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
Like what if you
To
couldn't?
Hack?
No, it's a
David Carl.
Oh, David Carl.
So like
okay.
if it didn't work out, you would have to get a new coach anyway. So like if you have to have him to get here for 7 years,
Right.
like I don't know, I would guarantee 7 years or whatever.
Because that's one of the things about him right now is he's like, I don't want to go somewhere
Right.
where I'm only going to get 2.5 years.
And that's fair.
Like Jim Montgomery has a 700 points percentage in Boston, and he gets fired. Like that's his boy.
Yeah.
He has the chance
Yeah,
to
he's
be
a Denver guy, too.
Yeah. He came up under him. He has a chance, David Carl, like if he wants, he could be in that job till he's 80. He's 35 years old.
Yeah.
He could be Paterno there, where it's like he's the coach for life.
Mm-hmm.
He only wants to uproot his family if you change his life money-wise, and it's not just, you're a disposable head coach. And that's not the Flyers' way either. Like, as much as I want somebody fresh, the Flyers have a quick trigger on coaches, and they bring in guys with established track records. Like, that's always been their way.
As long as it's not
Ken
Andy
Hitchcock,
Ruff.
a Peter Laviolette, a John Tortorella. That's always been what they've done, unless it's like Bill Barber, 420 goals and a Calder Cup with the Phantoms. Like they go
Wayne
with
Gretzky couldn't coach either.
they
so I
go
don't
with
wanna hear it.
retreads. Like that's their thing. So I just really doubt it's going to be David Carl, but it's such an interesting conversation what they're going to do with the coach this offseason, because typically coaches in this situation get an extension or don't come back.
Yep.
This is John Tortorella, though, like a legend. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe he's like, I don't need an extra year. They're going to listen to me or they're not going to play. Like, oh, yeah, they tuned out the coach because he's on his lame duck year. Like, they tuned me out. They're going to be in the AHL.
Yeah.
John Tortorella. Like,
And
maybe it's that easy.
If he like is staying in the organization,
Yeah.
like if they say to him like, listen, John, we're coming up to front office afterwards. Like maybe that
Right.
that does have an impact.
Yeah, you can
it's
stay,
not so
you can
much of a
stay
lane.
home. You don't have to go on these road
Yeah,
trips
yeah.
type thing.
I wonder, the last couple, there's still like 13 games left, so I doubt it happens now. But the last few years, like few end of the season games, he's like, I'm I'm going to go upstairs. You know what? Players need a break from me. I'm done.
Yeah.
Maybe that happens with like 10 games left this year where he's just like, these players need a break. And if I'm coming back next year, like it can't be the maniac screaming at them for 60 minutes when we have no chance to win. Maybe that's how they alleviate some of this. Like, how do we tell Travis and Travis, we're going to have another year of torts and it ain't in service of winning? Like, you put up with that guy because you think he can get you on a playoff run or
They're
something.
probably already thinking of that drill in the
What's
it called? Like
the rope skate.
The rope, the
Oh,
rope skate. They're probably
God,
already
dude.
thinking about that now that they're gonna have to do that next
So
year.
we're gonna have to do this again.
Yeah,
exactly.
And by March, we're gonna be 12 games out.
Yeah.
I
Does it
really
seem
don't
worth
want to go
it?
through this for
Does
another
it
calendar
March?
year.
Jeez.
Yes, like we're talking about March 2026 already.
Yeah.
Like I really wonder. All right, before we wrap up, you know what we do. It's time for those super chats just for tonight. We are going to take a look here at, I don't even know what that says. Chief Blacksun says, great day, got married, became a diehard, and Flyers got closer to first pick. Spin that wheel. Chief,
Got married.
congratulations.
Oh, yeah, dude.
You
Way to
got
go,
married.
way to go.
So the day you got married, you tuned in? Like, oh my
amazing.
God, dude.
I can't imagine the deals on wedding halls on a Monday on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, that's an awesome day.
That is a great.
Dude,
That's a
I
great.
hope you're at
day.
St. James Gate getting married.
You
Like,
celebrate your anniversary on St. Patty's every
Yeah.
year? That is dope, my friend.
that sounds like a bet that you lost. No matter what, hon, I'll marry you on St. Patrick's Day in 4 years. It happened to be on a Monday.
Congratulations to you, Chief. And again, Charlie and I talk all the time. Like, we have to do this and like this is a real job and it's hard. It's not. But you just get worn down eventually by the team. The people who stick with us through these post games is we're talking about, spinning the wheel for a draft pick every show. Thank you, because I don't know what the hell we'd do without you. Chief, you're a diehard with or without the
Chief J.
subscription.
Strongbow.
Appreciate it. All right, from Vineet Singh. Where'd he go? Okay, there he is. I don't know if any Flyers have had great second halves under Torts, but I know a bunch that have slumped. Does the Torts system just wear on the team? As much as just like his personality and the way he coaches wears you down, the way they have to block every shot, like skate hard, we join the like he just demands so much from you that it's definitely tiring. Like they're just dead tired.
Well,
and
basically, the way he coaches is like, I need you to play like it's a playoff game every single game. And it's like, geez, that's hard in the playoffs to go through all the rounds. And now you're asking me to do that for like 82 games? Of course it's tiring. What are you, crazy?
we just watched the best players in the world do it for 4 games in the middle of the season. And they all came back and were dead for like a week.
Yeah.
Like TK, he played 1 game? And like, he hasn't been the same since. Like that was playoff hockey for 4 games.
Yep.
And we're just talking the US and Canada that played those games. Like Matt Kachuk's hurt, like everyone's hurt or dead tired. To play the Tortorella system for 82 games, forget that he's screaming at you like a lunatic. That just my body hurts. Like think about Nick Seeler right now.
Yeah.
I'm 4th in the league in blocked shots. I don't play that many minutes. It's not like he's playing 22 minutes a game. He's
Nick
playing
Seeler's
16.
probably in the locker room like
He's
Jake
just-
Taylor with all the
he's
ice
just-
on him.
Exactly. All right, before we wrap up, just want to say we appreciate those of you watching on TV. Head over to allphly.com for more of the show. Just a few more super chats before we wrap up. Our friend Devin93. Leafs wearing their St. Pat's jerseys today. Another chance for me to push for Flyers Halloween jerseys.
Oh my God. I
The
love
orange
this.
jersey you have that they wore at the link.
Yes.
That's a
That's
Halloween.
that's definitely the closest.
That's
I
the
love
one they
this
should
idea.
wear every Halloween.
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
I very much am on board with that, Devin.
And throw pumpkins on the ice when we score.
When they score. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it'll never happen, so nobody has to.
That's, they can
Nobody
give,
has to
they
worry
can give
about it.
away like the heavy giveaways now, like the beer stein or a bobblehead.
Because nobody's going to
Yeah,
throw
no
them
one's
on
throwing
the
it
ice.
on the
Yeah,
ice.
exactly.
No one cares enough. And finally, it's the only reason they're there. They're not giving up their giveaway. They're not coming for the action.
I think tonight's giveaway I noticed in the stands for St. Louis, Tampa Bay was a scarf. And I always find it offensive when teams do giveaways against us because it's like, oh, we're going to do a giveaway against a team
have to
that
get
is not
people-
going to draw anybody. So you're doing a giveaway. Like, how dare you do that?
But, again.
Who needs a scarf in Florida, by the way? My God.
All right. And the final super chat from James. He says $2 for the swear word, top 5 pick. Now, I told them, like, no, we can't. And of course it's me. Like, of course I'm the one that did it. It's been a while. And for Kelly, it's been a while. But
It's been a while.
I've been pretty good. I've been pretty good considering like the way I speak. Since the swear ban, I've been okay. One tonight. Listen, it's St. Paddy's Day. All right. And that is all the time we have for you on PHLY Flyers postgame presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We are off for the next 2 days. That's right, but there's going to be a mini pod dropping. I'm trying to call the mini pods the shootout. We'll see if that branding, when that drops on Tuesday, if that's going to be a real thing or not. But make sure you tune in for that. Subscribe right here on YouTube. Hit that reminder bell so you never miss a live show. You get those notifications. Follow us on Twitter at PHLY_Flyers. And follow the podcast wherever you get those. Just search PHLY Flyers. That's it. I am Bill Matz. That is Mike Walk. That is Frank Barbado. Until, Thursday? Let's go Tank.
We all silly like the mayor.